Well, I guess I'll start here. I started to say, I wanted to continue that Jimmy Carter had um, appointed Andrew Young, the black minister and civil rights leader that was with Martin Luther King when he was shot in Memphis. All these people knew about my kidnapping. They knew my real name. They knew I'm a hostage before I ever did in '83, and all these things that were committed, laws committed um, against me, not for me, no civil rights whatsoever. But he appointed Jimmy Carter was governor then president, and of course the governor lives in Atlanta. And I did the book and all that in Marietta and lived there for a long, long time since about 67. And then my sons, I lived there in Decatur, Georgia, on Prince's Circle, in when Martin was born and Scott. So that was in six. 59 and 60 that I lived there. The boys were born there in Fulton County. And Mark and Scott are heirs after me. But I want to go back to Jimmy Carter. All the presidents knew it. The media knew it before I did. And they will not print it because of what I put on the prior tapes. The Rockefellers, very people that kidnapped me, control the media. And quite frankly, people don't care as long as they're living good. I'm not talking about the Brits. The Brits have been what saved my life, and Germans, and some of the Americans here. I want to remind you, my mother was an American, and I hate to say it at this point. I really do. I'm going to inject this here and hope I can get back to what I was saying. I wrote about mind control murders and patterns. And if nobody cared about me, I was looking at Obama and Michelle and Obama, and I think they were Kennedy. Well, I know they were Senator, and I would want to say before I continue with that, they were showing photographs through there, and they showed Princess Grace Kelly, who was an American. They made to do, and she's a beautiful lady. I'm not trying to take from her at all, but she was killed in the mind control murders right after they gave me antifreeze and everything in '80. I think she died in '82, but it was done in patterns. She was an American, and since she was an American, she was all over everything. They loved her. She was beautiful. My mother, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, the real queen mother of the British, was from Madison, Wisconsin, Sun Prairie. You never even heard of her, have you? A very beautiful lady who lost her only daughter, me, and she loved me very much, and I know that, and so did my father. Can you imagine the life they led, knowing that my father's legacy would be a total lie, that his right to be king had been stolen by his own brother and the New World Order, and his only daughter, the monarch, future monarch, had been kidnapped and was living in hell. I'm sure he knew about it, and he could do nothing about it, and I do know that. He tried with all his might, and he lost all his power and the money. I assume Elizabeth and them has gone through. She's sure not using hers. She's using mine while I'm a pauper. But now that I've lost what I was going to say, and that was it. You hear of Grace Kelly, you don't hear the truth about her death, the mind control, and you never heard of my mother, who's the real queen mother. So I want to go back to South Africa. What happened with Reverend Andrew Young was appointed ambassador to the UN, and he gathered together money and industry and went into South Africa. What they're doing is it all looks good, but I'm the legal heir. The monarch, South Africa was a British colony, and it was overthrown. There was a revolution. It wasn't enough this country did it here to the Brits. They kidnapped me, the real monarch. Then they go into all the other countries, and South Africa was one of them. if someone started to overthrow the government here, you would call them terrorists. You would have them locked up. You would have them gassed. Well, you've done that to me. But you get my point. Now then, what gets me is Martin Luther King, Mrs. King actually, when after 80, when that had been done to me, the antifreeze, and then some stuff had been done later. And I'm trying to tell them, I go down, and I realize now that Martin Luther King, uh, James Earl Ray was programmed. I'm not sure who shot Martin Luther King, but that was mind control, just like in the Kennedy. These people very well knew my name and Jimmy Carter. I can't wrap my mind around how many people have known, and yet today I sit here, and I guess I'm going to stop on this. I said it. They've stolen everything from the British, used the British to fight and die for them, the United States, and the New World Order, and everyone knew it. Martin Luther King, Mrs. King, they even mentioned South Africa when I went on the street after having the antifreeze put in me. This was would have been in November, I believe, of 82. Yeah. I went there in the condition I was in to where Mrs. King was, a center down Atlanta, freezing cold. And I wouldn't leave. So she sent the next in line to her, not her, whoever was in the organization. And he took me outside. And he mentioned South Africa. He mentioned mind control. They knew about it. I wondered why he brought in South Africa, because it was the next year in 83 I found out being kidnapped and I'm the monarch and all this. All these people have known it. I even went to Andy Young. Andrew Young was, at the time I went there, had become mayor of Atlanta. Do you think he would see me? No. These people have denied me my civil rights. I never signed a thing to give anything British away. My signature wasn't on anything. And legally, it has to be because I'm there. I did not give away South Africa. I did not give away all the colonies that spread out. I have been through hell, and I see why they don't want to tell it. I'm sitting over here, 75 years old, and if you see the life that I've led while they shout, God bless America and civil rights, then you'd see why they don't want it told. And I sit here all alone, freezing. I've been gassed. I don't know where my sons are. You name it. This land of the free and home of the brave have done it all to me. God bless them the right way. I hope. I certainly wish it'd be Judgment Day. See what he thinks about it.